What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 299. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
Man, I'm here without him.
The end of this movie hit different, huh?
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah.
How many times, like every time when they were like, we have to take the stuff that makes you strong away.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, something's going to pop off now. I just knew it. Like,
yeah, right. So I went to the theaters and watched Black Panther. Because, look, full disclosure before I start, okay? I enjoy Black Panther. I always loved Black Panther as a character in the comics. I like the idea, the mythology, everything about Black Panther. I think that Black Panther's a better movie than Wonder Woman. But with that being said, they made some very fucking questionable choices when they did this movie, in my opinion. Like, they should have had someone take the script that was already written and rewrite it in a better way.
it's almost like stuff was removed or something.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, it's like, why does it jump around like this?
Mm-hmm. I know, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, gripe number one, you have one of the greatest Marvel villains played by one of the most perfect people cast as a villain in Marvel Comics as on program.
Oh, dude, Andy Serkis?
Yes.
When they shoot him, I was like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on. He was killing it with that one arm.
Yes. And the thing is like this came out after Age of Ultron. We get introduced to Claw in Age of Ultron because he's helping Ultron out, making his whatever it was.
Making Vision.
Yeah, making Vision with the vibranium. Yeah. So that was our introduction to Claw. And then I'm like, oh, we got introduced to Claw. You know, all this stuff is happening. I think this was even before Black Panther was introduced at all. I'm like, this is great. You know, Claw's a great villain. They got Andy Serkis in there playing Claw. It's going to be great. Yeah. Then, like, first half of the movie, dead. Like, here's the thing. Like, they try to make Killmonger a badass. They didn't have to kill one of the greatest villains in Marvel Comics to make him a badass. Like, Andy Serkis or Claw had done nothing to this point to signify that he is like the powerhouse that he could be. And Killmonger killing him literally serves no purpose in the movie whatsoever. Like, no purpose at all. It's just a cheap way to get rid of that character. If he's actually even dead. I'm really banking and hoping on the idea that he's actually not dead. But why would they show that whole thing happen?
Yeah, he was wrapped up.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? Like, we're going to use Andy Serkis as a peace offering?
Exactly. Right.
Well, yeah, in hindsight, I also kind of felt like they were testing the waters to see if they could really bank on probably doing a Killmonger spinoff. If, the movie hadn't ended up playing out like it did.
I mean, I like Killmonger as a character. I like Michael B. Jordan as an actor. I do like that a lot. Complete, like, for sure.
Oh man, when he gives the ship jumping off the ship speech there,
yeah,
like that slapped hard.
Yeah, did a fantastic job, and like not only did they kill Claw, but like Killmonger's dead too, and like Killmonger is like an anti-hero, like the perfect anti-hero in a big way, in my opinion, because like, yeah, maybe his ideals and philosophies don't mesh up with everybody's, but like he still lives by a code. He still lives by, like, him challenging Black Panther was part of their like societal thing that they, and they were fighting to the death. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So like, you can't be mad because he beat Black Panther's ass, because that's what they do.
I mean, you don't like the rules, change them. Yeah.
Another thing too that I noticed with this, because this was among I think phase 2 or 3 of Marvel.
Yeah.
And you could definitely tell that the movie was written and planned in a time where, because another thing too about Black Panther in the comics, his presence touches a lot of, like, he encounters just about every villain. And I know a lot of Marvel villains and heroes all kind of cross paths in their own way from time to time. But particularly with Black Panther, like, there's a lot of, he's pretty much had to deal with a lot if not all of them.
Yeah.
And you could tell the movie was written probably in a time where they didn't want to really, they had so much on their plate, knowing what everything was building up to now in hindsight. That the idea of having these little villains, I mean, it's the same thing with Captain America. They killed off Red Skull, for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
and and so it was in that era, I think, where when they realized, okay, we're gonna hop up Thanos. He's gonna be the mustache twirl of the whole thing,
Yeah.
And I felt like they didn't do that with some of their, I don't want to say lesser villains and make that imply that they're not as equally interesting as, say, Thanos, but a lot of opportunities, not just in Black Panther, but in the larger MCU continuity as a whole, a lot of opportunities have been squandered.
Yes. Agreed 100%. And
I still back my idea that Black Panther, what was done the most injustice to it was that they just more or less mirrored Thor in terms of narrative structure.
Right. Yeah,
like
they kind of did, yeah, and I see where you're coming from. But I mean, it falls into that traditional first comic book film where it's like the hero is fighting a villain that's the same with different motivations, and then them working in the idea of borders and opening the borders up and helping people and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not going to say that felt forced, because like hindsight's always 2020. It's almost like it's more appropriate, like, well, this was 2018, so I guess it was still appropriate, like as appropriate at that point.
Well,
But at
you
the
got to
same,
remember the movie was released in the middle of the Trump administration.
yeah, exactly. Well, and not only that, but you have to think about it this way. Like, Wakanda is a nation that is governed by a king, right? And like, in reality, okay, if a nation like that opens their borders up and somebody shows up and starts fucking around, what normally happens to those people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the idea of like, well, we're going to open the borders up and the bad stuff's going to come, and it's like, no, like, you have the most advanced technology on the planet here. You're also governed by a king that if somebody gets out of line, you're not going to get rid of them. You're just going to chop their hands off and send them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that, like, culturally, it's a completely different. So like, making those comparisons in that regard feels dated and doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion. That's where I stand with it, because like, I see what they're going for, but it feels,
well,
it's
it
not
was
the same.
if you go back and watch all of Marvel stuff as well, they tend to have their little choice moments of social commentary.
Yeah.
And obviously you could see what was on display in Black Panther. But to me the thing that fuels the Thor thing was just the idea that you had siblings vying for the next in line to succession.
Yeah, dad dies.
Yeah.
The dad, Odin / King T'Challa. Like, all that
Was
stuff.
one of his eyes fucked up?
No.
When they were talking to him, did one of his eyes like kind of wander off?
I don't know.
That was Forrest Whitaker.
No.
Now,
No, his dad. Every time he would talk to him, I was like, what's up with his eye? Almost looked like a glass
Now,
eye.
Might be.
and I feel like that's most of what we would quote unquote consider the bad of this movie. Now, the fucking Black Panther suit is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that it can absorb all energy and momentum and then spit it back
cool.
at the opponent, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like the way that he moved. Like they really took time and attention to detail of him actually moving like a cat. You know what I mean?
Well, did you notice too that the fight scenes were like slow, fast?
Yeah, yeah.
They weren't like super.
Yeah, almost like a samurai fight where the moves mattered.
Yeah, right. And speaking of fight, I like how this all culminates there's about 40 minutes of the movie left. And they're loading these drones up with these weapons to send them out to these Wakanda plants all over all over the world. And like the different factions of the Wakandan people are fighting what looks like in front of my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is where I was just like, really?
Yeah, I know,
like we're fighting each other now? What?
Yeah.
Like this dude shows up. Yeah, y'all got a tradition, but fuck this guy.
Yeah.
He also goes against your tradition of not sending shit out, right?
Exactly.
Like that whole thing there, when they started fighting each other, I was like, what? What y'all fighting each other for?
Yeah, and there's a lot it felt forced, and that definitely felt forced to me, in my opinion. Like it was unnecessary. And here's like, okay, I'm gonna rewrite the movie real quick. And you guys tell me if you think that the Griffin version of Black Panther is better than the version of the Black Panther that we got. You have the first part of the movie play out to where they get to the plane and he doesn't kill Claw. He subdues Claw, like ties him up and delivers him to Wakanda alive, right?
Or at least give him the Bucky Barnes treatment and have him fall off something and just don't know what his fate's left undetermined.
Well, but this is what I'm thinking though. He shows up and like leave the Black Panther, like the king, all this kind of stuff. Like leave that until this point in the movie where dude shows up. He's the one that challenges T'Challa to the and have that play out right there with everybody there instead of like, oh, we're doing this again. No. Make it happen then. Have the same thing play out and then have it to where Black Panther has to get better and work like unwillingly almost work with Claw to full Killmonger and his plan. Where these people that have gone at odds for so long and they've known about each other, like that was one of this beginning of the movie. It's like, oh, your dad could never deliver Claw to us, blah, 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 blah. Like, and then that would pit more people against Black Panther because he frees Claw. Claw's helping him do all this stuff and try to stop it. And then it all comes to light like, oh, okay, this is his master plan. He's shipping these weapons out across the world. He's going to basically start wars in all these countries.
Yeah.
And then Claw gets the upper hand and dips out of Wakanda for, like that's his get out of jail free card. And they like they never had this moment in the movie, and I would have loved to have it. It was all about, your dad killed my dad, and I'm a Wakandan by birthright. No. Why was there no opportunity to where they both had a conversation about their ideals? Because they're very much the same person and the same character in a lot of respects. There's just a couple of things that they disagree on. Why was that not taken into account? Like, there's a lot of things that they could have done with these two characters and like keep Killmonger alive. Give Killmonger the other suit and have him be the Black Panther operative in the rest of the world. Like, they could have done so much.
He would have been perfect if you kept him around and you'd have a black,
Yeah.
Now that this dude's gone, they could have just worked that into the
exactly
good guy, bad guy turned good guy, kinda.
Yeah. I mean, that they fucked it up, in my opinion. And like I said, I do enjoy the movie. I do like Black Panther a ton. I'm very excited to see the sequel and everything. But they really fucked up a lot. It's like they were trying to cram too much nonsense into it, and the things that really matter and make sense in a comic book movie, they're like, yeah, we're not going to worry about that right now because we've got 3 of these movies to make, and also uh Civil War, and also the Infinity War saga stuff, and also, so we're going to try to hash all that stuff out later. And it's like, no, you ruined 2 really good characters in the process of doing so. And like, what happens? Oh, they go to the United Nations and they're like, yeah, we're going to help the world now, and then there's a snicker. Like, what the fuck? You know? It really fucking irks me that they fucked this movie up, because they could have had it mean something. Like, when it came out, it was a symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like, Black Panther was a symbol. There, all that stuff was happening. I mean, when you watch the movie, you're like, Killmonger's not wrong. Like, there's injustices all over the world.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to agree with both sides of the coin here. I don't know. Like, that's just my that's where I stand at with this movie. They could have done so much, and they decided to give us like a bunch of bullshit.
Well, when you look, I'm gonna drop it in. That guy does have a glass eye, by the way.
Okay.
In general, the writer director, he don't really have a lot under his belt. I mean, he wrote those Creed movies.
Yeah.
And did a couple of shorts. He really likes working with Michael B. Jordan because he's in like everything he's done. But
yeah,
like, it's the guy that wrote and directed it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I will say for his first obvious like fantasy action story, he did a great job.
Yeah, I mean,
all complaints aside,
yeah,
pulling off how the movie looked visually, how things needed to go, the attention to detail,
the sound,
the things that they did nail. I mean, they nailed exceptionally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But here's what it felt like. He's like, I'm gonna write the Black Panther movie, the first black superhero that's ever been filmed.
That's what they said.
I'm gonna write a story about the first black superhero that's ever been filmed. And I'm just gonna write down all these things that I like personally don't like and disagree with, and I'm just gonna fucking throw them everywhere in the script that I possibly can. And it's not gonna make a whole lot of sense, and it's gonna convolute the movie as a whole. But fuck it, this is my opportunity. That's where I'm at with it. Don't at me.
But I feel like at the same time, a lot of those. I mean, you can apply a lot of the arguments that Black Panther suffers from. You can apply it to a lot of the other Marvel films as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think it's that genuine. It's just part. Well, I don't even think it's a flaw. I was going to use that word, but I realize it's a poor choice of words. I think it's a side effect of the Marvel formula. And it's that, some of these earlier origin films, they were absolutely at the discretion of the creator.
Yeah.
And Feige was cool with it. And sometimes that, those decisions have sometimes they have some small consequences. Like there were some pretty rough moments in all of the Big Four's origin films themselves.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I think by the time Black Panther had came out, we had already had a Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Yeah. They knew
better. I agree. I think that Black Panther, to add to what you were saying, Black Panther could have been way more balls to the wall in terms of just, we're going to be Marvel as fuck with this one.
Yeah.
And they got there in certain things, but it was still in that whole formula thing that they still suffer from, where it's we're gonna breadcrumb shit for you that you're gonna really like and wish we had more of, and we do. We could have easily sat down and wrote a 3-minute scene where something gets fleshed out that just world builds Black Panther even more, because it's not even about world building the Marvel universe using Black Panther as a vessel, but just adding to the tapestry by making even more, like, they could have expanded Earth's stuff even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
By not having killed Claw, by not having killed Killmonger. Claw could have been easily a new he could have been up there with Zemo.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, he
Yeah.
could have absolutely been another Zemo where, like, every now and then you'll fucking see him and some sort of fuckery's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have absolutely been like, they could have used him as a thing where it's like, he's on screen, some shit's going about, like, some evil plot work's about to get dropped,
Right. Yeah.
and yeah, but and I think to add something, because Adam was he had brought up the fight earlier and how it was done slow. Man, they really loved that slow mo with the water.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, that was almost Zack Snyder level slow mo,
Yeah, right.
or not even. Well, it almost borderline Bollywood,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I think that what I'm fixing to say is going to sum everything up. Okay. Winter Soldier came out 4 years before this movie.
oh man,
That's all I'm going to say.
arguably, absolutely probably the best movie in its phase.
Yes.
And one of the best of the whole damn roster.
And
Easily,
not on,
it's one of the top 5 for sure.
and not only that, but the way that Winter Soldier handled, like, sprinkling in like current modern politics and concerns into a Marvel movie was executed, some would say perfectly, and I would agree
Even with
that.
the show.
Yeah. 4 years before this movie came out. It's a different level of writing
Yeah.
that actually made sense and that had cohesion to it.
Well, like I was saying, man, I think it's that trade-off of we're gonna let the directors and creators have as much full, like, reign as they can. I think I think it's gonna be something we always see in these films from time to time.
And
And I don't want to call it overindulgent,
yeah.
but that's exactly what it is. It's when and it's not just Ryan Coogler. It's all the other directors that are involved in it. I would go on and say even James Gunn, and I know we're gonna get to him shortly, but still, like a lot of, like, it seems like, I mean, think about it like this too. Look at Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Look what happened when you gave him full control. He
Yeah.
brought Thor up, and then he brought that thing down.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So
And I just think it's going to be a constant, back and forth of, to get these kind of movies that we want, it's going to require teams that want to make it, but some of the trade-offs going to be they're going to make it their way, and it sucks because I feel like, and it was something that I was thinking about whenever you were talking about the Claw, and I hate we've gravitated back to the nitpicks of this film, because the second viewing, I was more entertained than the first one. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Hell, I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry, but, like, it's just, yeah. I'll just leave it with my overindulgent comment, man.
it's not bad. It's not a bad movie at all. There was liberties taken. There was things taken. I still love Black Panther as a character. I'm still interested to see how the sequel does everything and how they follow up everything that's happened since since this movie came out. And I'm still excited to watch Black Panther for
Yeah.
sure. Um, and I think that there's so much that you can do with that character, and then um, having the second film be the whole Namor thing like makes sense, and that's really cool and really interesting, and it's got me super hyped and super excited about
Well,
it.
yeah. That being said, that adds to what I was saying a minute ago is that once you include something like Namor or Namor or whatever the fuck they want you to call him, like I've called him Namor my whole life,
Yeah, he's
but
Namor.
because I'm pretty sure there was a thing where they brought where he goes by Namor, but
Wow.
whatever, tomato tomato at this point.
Yeah,
But it seems like they're like the balls to the wall uh thing I was talking about, and just going off the deep end with all the crazy comic book resources they have at hand for Black Panther. It looks like with the second one, despite what the film's tone is setting in its marketing, I think that it's gonna be what we wanted this one to be.
right. I hope so. I'm holding out a lot of hope for it. How and like the dudes from the Pill movies,
Oh yeah,
like those guys.
the chick from
Yeah,
Us.
yeah. The chick, and then the dude from Get Out, and then the
Yeah,
dude from Us, and like them in the mountains. I want more of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's up there snowing. He's up there in his chair, and
Oh, you
he's
mean
like,
in
well,
the stick room?
yeah, the fucking
I was like,
stick
what is the
room, yeah.
stick room about? Look
Dude, I
cool.
would.
See, I wish, I hope maybe that they do this in Wakanda Forever, but I hope that we get more knowledge drops on the different tribes of Wakanda and why,
Yeah,
or the different clans and
Well, like
what.
when they say the Mind
wh-
Clan, and then that's the character, right? And it's supposed to be the Mind dude.
yeah, yeah. Namor.
Them millions are right.
Yeah. Yeah, I want more. And dude, if the guy, the guy that challenged him originally, like
Mm,
if he was the new Black Panther, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like he's big, dude,
he is big.
and he put the
well,
smackdown wallop on
well,
somebody.
well, what was badass is see he got Killmonger's plot
Yeah, right. Yeah, for
because
sure.
if you think about it, he goes from being the one that distrusted T'Challa the most
Yeah,
to he was one of the first motherfuckers out of the portal at Endgame.
yeah, right. Yeah,
And seeing that I don't want to say redemption because it's not like he did anything wrong, but seeing that change of heart is like watching this makes that hit a little harder.
yeah. Oh yeah,
And I still think that was cool because it set up, all this stuff and how it paid off in Endgame was pretty brilliant.
yeah,
And I think it was just pure luck um, that we have the scene now where because it's sad that the guy passed away. It really,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
especially when it's any of these actors that become part of this new pantheon of heroes that's coming to the screen.
yeah,
And we're finally getting live action faces for these characters. Um, it's only more fitting now and more poignant that now it's chiseled in stone that when you watch the MCU, one of the biggest homages for Chadwick Boseman, even though I'm sure a lot of people think, and maybe we might change our mind once we watch the sequel, but the fact that even though we hear Falcon first when Cap is alone on the battlefield, the first
yeah,
person we see step out of the portal is Black Panther.
yeah,
And this and as sad as the actor's passing is, it makes that moment so much more fucking like so much more cool and more weighted and more like because like still like the portal scene is like it's the uh making an entrance of all entrances,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, like I think that it absolutely it came out and set and did what it needed to do. And I think it's on par with a lot of the Phase 1 origin stories that came out. I think it kind of called back to it a little bit in a way in terms of how they were going to do this, because that's the one thing as well. I want to say, isn't this one of the last full-blown origin films that's come out?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was it Doctor Strange that came out after this?
Let's see. Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange may have came out right after it. Doctor Strange came out in 2016. So it came out before this, because this came out in 2018.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the last of the hero origins where they take the route of, oh, who the hell am I? Blah, 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 blah. And then,
Yeah.
something happens, he becomes a hero. I don't know if I want to do this. Something comes in, Coulson moment happens, and he's like, I'm the hero.
Yeah.
And that formula has always been flawed.
Yeah.
Not just from Marvel Studios, but even from Fox Studios. Because you could absolutely line up all the beats of Iron Man, Thor, all the original four, and Black Panther, any of these movies that are in this way, and you can line it up with the X-Men, and it's all the fucking same.
Yeah.
And I think because one thing we've noticed now moving forward is a lot of the characters that are getting introduced now, they're kind of skipping origin story like territory now. Now it's more like the people. It's like they took the idea of what they've been doing to Batman for years, where they're like, oh, this Batman movie, he's just become Batman, or in this one, it's like he's been Batman for 2 years. He doesn't know quite how to handle his grapple gun yet, or some retarded stuff like that, and they use it as just almost like a narrative tool.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, but Marvel's taking it and they're like, you know what? We can do that. We can use that for all of our established heroes, and it with each hero being so different and unique, it's not gonna get old.
Yeah.
Like you can pick up movies and stuff now where like people's already doing hero shit.
Right. Yeah.
Which I guess, well, no, the more I think about it, I guess I'm wrong. Because I'm trying to think of other origin films, and I mean, honestly, Shang-Chi, it was a tried and true origin.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm wrong in that, and that's fine. But I still stand by that it is a issue with Marvel's template of making movies, because even though they're all genuine and different in their own regards, they all still have a skeleton that is very similar.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rate it. I'm gonna give it a half star. I enjoyed it. There's some major flaws, but I enjoyed it. And I like Black Panther as a character, and I'm excited to watch the next one.
Yeah, I'm at a half. That fight just I'm
Yeah.
like, why are we all fight? I thought we were all friends.
Yeah. And like
But the
train
next one
thing
does
was
have two riders.
okay.
They brought somebody else on to help.
Yeah,
Say, she don't want some help.
learn from their mistake. The fight on the train thing was pretty
That
cool.
was cool. I like that whole
And-
vibranium stuff. Like it's like it's almost like it vibrates. It's straight vibing, dude.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that the coolest thing about these Marvel movies and some of the comics in general is that they give just as much attention to the tools that the heroes use. Like it's not just, this is the sword of wonderment.
Yeah.
Okay. Like now it's like, nah, it's either and I love how they've been able to establish this distinction between this is just really high tech stuff,
Yeah.
or no, this is magic. Like this is summoning energy from other dimensions to do something. And I love that they've been able to have the two separate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give the movie a half star just because I think narrative structure. I think it rips off Thor. I think it's almost like it's a regurgitation of that in a time when they knew better.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, you know, I don't think Black Panther is a 1.5 star film. I think it is a 2 star film. So I'm gonna give it the other half bump.
Straight bumping on it.
I'll give it a star, but like a lot of times, I give it like I would with a half. We're flipping it. We're doing a Griffin flip on the pod tonight.
You're gonna give it
Normally y'all
Bennett
give the
star?
stars, and I give the half with the asterisk. But now y'all have given the half, and I'm gonna give the full. But I'm still gonna keep my asterisk, and I give it a full star, but an asterisk saying with proceed with caution with the past few minutes of our discussion in mind if you're a viewer and have not yet watched Black Panther.
Yeah.
The movie has absolute flaws. There's absolute problems with it, but they're problems that if you've managed to sit through the 10 to 15 other movies that came before this motherfucker, that's clearly not going to bother you.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I say it with that, and I do believe that the quality of this movie in terms of editing and sound and stuff, I think that deserves that extra bump as well.
Well, it won 3 Oscars for music, production design, and something else to do with the way it looked. Yeah. All the stuff it won was the way it looked and sound. It did sound good.
It is a very like despite the issues that happened in its execution, whenever T'Challa is fully suited as Black Panther,
yeah,
and the suits going ham, and all of that, it's a very visually striking movie.
Yeah,
and
it is.
With that being said, I give it the star with the asterisk, and we'll let Black Panther rest at 2 stars.
All right.
With optimism for the sequel.
So, The Last of Us, though.
Man.
That's
a lot of man.
Such a sweet story.
Yeah.
No, but no, for real. I kind of already feel like y'all kind of were like y'all had the eye roll.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean,
when I was watching it,
sure, I don't know.
I mean, dude, when he pulled that towel off him, he climbed up on top of him. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
all of that stuff. I don't want to say shit. All that stuff, man. My thing is that the writing.
Oh yeah, the acting,
the dialogue, and the acting, like you said, the whole performances, despite the differences of the lifestyle of the characters as opposed to me individually, what the romantic aspect of what's going on, the love story that's being done, you could it like the characters didn't matter anymore. Like from the start of that to the end.
Yeah.
Who they are as individuals don't matter, dude. It's all the things that they were doing in the every time jump. And you just saw these two characters care about each other more and more, and dealing with and all of that, and just the whole enchilada, man, was excellent.
Oh yeah.
It was, dude. Like I really didn't think I would find myself so emotionally invested in it.
Yeah.
But by the end, oh, dude, when we got to the "Give me my one last good day,"
yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Dude, that you can't sit there and say you weren't moved at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, like this is something that we were kind of talking about last night, is the fact that like, and I've brought this up before, you know, a lot of the things that happen in the game is a lot of conversational pieces that happen as you're exploring the world and things are happening. You find letters, you hear about conversations, things like that. But like how visually, how do they reinforce the idea in a movie or a TV show, the idea that like there are people worth saving, there are people worth caring about and loving and wanting to help and to protect.
He said, "I
And
was never afraid before you showed up."
yeah, yeah. And the like in the game, like they did that by these conversations and all these things that happen between Joel and Ellie and everything else that happened. But like it's really hard to do that in a visual medium. And I really like the direction they went with it. It's like, okay, you know these letters? Well, we're gonna like have an entire episode that shows
Yeah.
a 20-year breakdown of everything that happened and these people finding each other out of the blue and developing a relationship, and you see the ups and downs, and then you see the characters interact with a younger version of Joel, and then that letter that he leaves is just so meaningful. Like I love that where it's like,
Punches you in the gut.
yeah, he's like, I wouldn't call you a friend, but I respect the hell out of, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's about as manly as it fucking gets, I'd say.
yeah, I mean,
It's like, fuck you, but you're cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that reinforces that idea not only to the viewers, but also to Joel as well. It's like, well, these two found each other. They cared about each other. They wanted to do anything for each other. And, you know, we see that play out. He feels it, you know?
Well, you see the unspoken man code playing out between Bill and Joel at that meeting.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Like the two the two lovers run off and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make codes for each other."
Yeah.
The two dudes are left at the table like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah.
This
What
was their idea.
About? Yeah.
You know.
He said, "I gave him a little gun." It's a little.
I've been in that situation, so I know how it feels.
Yeah.
And
he said, "Get that fuck." What did he say? I'll point that fucking gun.
He's like, you get that fucking gun out of my face. But like, no, dude. The thing about it that kind of that echoed later on with the note was like when they're sitting there talking and dude's like, you know, we could really establish a lot of trade with each other, man. Like things could be really good. And you know, Bill's like, nah, we're fine, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And dude looks at him and he goes, that fence got about a year, dude.
Yeah.
I can hook you up with high tensile aluminum and that fence will say it'll be around longer than you.
Yeah.
And like, you know, everything that, and then, you know, and that don't seem like much. And you're like, all right. Joel's trying to talk some sense. He understands, he gets it. And then when it's time for him to leave, and once again, the lovers kind of trail up to the gate door, leaving them two behind. They're just kind of walking. And they have their moment. And Joel just kind of gives them respect then and there. He's like, man, you got a nice setup here, dude. Like, you're far enough from the government, they're not going to fuck with you. And the stray, you know, the zombies, clickers, whatever, they're not going to fuck with you either, except a little bit. But then he goes, but man, they are going to be raiders. And they're going to come at night. And like, dude, he lays it all out, like how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that night that it does, Bill was fucking ready, dude. And he's out in the street gunning. Dude, when fucking Frank wakes up, goes out into the damn street, Bill is just sitting there dead ass, just popping fucking shots like a badass, dude. That motherfucker was cool from the get-go. I loved when he was raiding the town.
Yeah, right.
like hooked up a fucking boat just for the storage and was just fucking wrecking gates. Like, nah, I'm cutting all the gas on. Fucking going over here, getting all the liquor. Like, and then the moment when it cuts back to Ellie and Joel in the future or in the present, and they're down there and she's trying to get a gun and he's like, no, and she goes, there's a fucking wall of them.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, a buddy of mine that's really a really big fan of the games was explaining how you know, like you were saying, Griff, how there were differences between Bill's story in the show as opposed to his video game counterpart, and it seemed to be a divisive decision on that.
Yeah.
But from a coming in cold kind of person to this, from that perspective,
yeah,
like that shit was crazy, and it was even funny. I say funny in a dark humor kind of way. How even in death they were still gay. He was like, "Hey, no, listen." Even in death, they were still straight up gay, man. No. Think about it. He opens the listen, guys.
Oh, I'm hearing you, dude.
He opens the letter and he goes, if you know, he's like, don't go in the bedroom. We kept the window open to keep the house smelling clean.
Yeah.
But inside is probably like they considered that. I thought that was just. I was like, yeah, I could see that.
Dude, I knew when he was pouring up his cocktail, I was like, he's gonna kill himself too.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, there's no
be honest,
way
I was so captivated by the whole Frank. Like, I was captivated, Rory.
Yeah.
But no, the whole fact that Offerman was just seeing him have those moments throughout that last day, and he would break down.
Yeah.
I was so sucked into that like when dude was like, "There's pills in the bottle," ain't there? And he's like, "Enough to kill a horse."
Yeah.
Or no, whenever he goes, "You think that's enough?" And Offerman looks at him and goes, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
Cause I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, he's gonna crush them pills up and like it's just gonna really he's gonna make him a vegetable for like 30 hours.
Yeah.
He's just gonna he's gonna be bound to a wheelchair and a vegetable. Damn.
Yeah. They that it is implied, you know, when you're playing the game and everything, because he would reference his partner and everything. So a lot of that stuff was very heavily implied, and they were like falling out. There was times when they were arguing or whatever. There was a falling out over something, and you would find the letters about that kind of stuff and like little things like that. So it was, you know, I really like that idea, and there's more of those letters and things that you find in the game. So, and Corey was like, I wonder if they're going to bring more of those through. And I was like, that would be kind of a cool way to offer something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, keep the experiences different. Where
Yeah, exactly.
You can like I can watch the show and play the game and not be bored because I know what's about to happen.
Yeah. So great episode though, man. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that they got it in early. You know what I mean? Because like that episode's going to kind of set the tone for the rest of the show.
Well, see, I'm worried though because that kind of it kind of wrapped itself up in the runtime, man. Like they Joel and Ellie got their stuff and they're starting their actual trek now.
Linda Ronstadt.
But to me that the episode was so good in how they depicted people surviving in the apocalypse, like outside of just Bill and Frank falling in love, but just the fact that going from seeing day one everything's going to shit, which I thought it was funny whenever he gets up there with that gas mask and you hear him go, "Not today, you new world order." What did he say? Brick boot fucks.
Yeah.
When he says that, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" But
whenever they get in their little argument, he's like, "I just want a can of gas and some paint, man."
Yeah,
dude.
Just a can of gas, dude.
And he's like, I'm redoing this build. He's like, I gotta look at this shit too, Bill. You know? He's like,
Yeah.
but
I was kind of with him. I'm like, let him paint the fucking house, dude. Who gives a
Got a
fuck?
pretty sweet setup here.
Yeah, you got a whole fucking cul-de-sac over here, you know? Like,
I mean, dude, he had that compound on lockdown, dude. Like
yeah.
he had more booby traps than, dude. It would make the fucking Asian kid from the Goonies smile.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm getting at though, and I was telling Adam this, the runtime of this episode, Griffin, was 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
And in 1 hour and 15 minutes, The Last of Us was managed to depict a love story and apocalypse story at the same time and be able to create an emotional journey in 75 minutes, more than what The Walking Dead has done in the past 10 fucking years.
Oh, I know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In 70 fucking minutes, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, that goes back to that writing thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Just because you went to college and you got a fucking associate's degree in fucking English doesn't mean that you need to write a script for something that people enjoy. Just saying.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where the writing comes in, dude. And like, I'm for it. If that's the caliber that we're like, the first 2 episodes were good. This episode took it to the next level. And like, if this is what we're in store for, you know, like,
dude.
sign me up.
This is the next show where I get excited at the pretentious opening.
Yeah, oh yeah. For sure.
Like, I'll sit through the opening. You know, like, it's one of them shows. Like, I'll let it set the tone, dude.
And did you see the news that, like, they've already greenlit season 2?
So they're going to drag it out?
Well, but season 2 is going to follow the second game, which is a pretty substantial time jump.
Isn't there like a bunch of different set of characters as well? Like, it don't even follow these people anymore.
I think,
or does that hit spoiler territory for me and Adam?
Well, see, I haven't played the second game, but I know it still follows Ellie.
Okay.
And I don't know anything else about.
See, I already don't like that. You said Ellie.
Well, she's the main character, which she becomes the main character.
Look, I'm already getting sacrificial vibes from Pascal.
Oh no.
Like, I don't think I can watch this if he's not going to be in the show anymore after this season.
Oh, and see, I don't know because like I said, I haven't played the second game, but I know that like she's the main focus, like the main character that you play. Which at a certain point in the game, it turns into her being the main character that you play for a pretty good length of time. So
Joel is very much a supporting character. Like, do we need to I just want to make sure that like I'm paying attention to who the main character should be.
We're watching Ellie's story.
Okay.
And we played Ellie's story from a different perspective in the first game.
Okay.
Like, because she's Anakin, right? I mean, not really. She's Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? Like she's the one that is like, you know, they've already talked about it. She's been bit twice. She hasn't turned, you know, this stuff.
She's the new hope.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So.
Okay. Because I mean, so far, dude, I'm enjoying the ride, man. And I haven't enjoyed a ride like this on a show
it's been
a long time.
To be excited for a show again.
Yeah.
Right. But speaking
I can't believe it's another apocalypse show though. Like, honestly, kind of over it.
Yeah.
Last of Us brought me back.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, Walking Dead left such a bad taste in everybody's mouth, you know. And in the focal point, it's amazing. Like the focal point that we've seen so far has been like the characters and the character development, and like the threat is this looming threat that's always around, and you never know when it's going to pop up. But it's not like we've got to get as many people in cosmetic fucking zombie makeup in one shot as humanly possible so that this AMC original that has no character development, no real plot, won't do the things that need to be done to further the show, but we've got 50 or 500 people in cosmetic fucking makeup as walkers, guys. You've never seen anything like it in your life. I mean, I watched World War Z and they did that shit with computers, bitch. Anyway,
I'm actually curious though if the people that are being portrayed as the hell, whatever you call them, the clickers, or the zombies, whatever. Whenever we get those standalone shots where it's just one of them, I wonder if those are people that worked on the game and they were like, "Hey, you just want to show up, put some makeup on us." Like, yeah, like I feel like that would be something they would that would be very in line with that, because I didn't realize this either, but Neil Druckmann, the guy who did the show and everything, he's the guy that wrote the game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we covered this in the pod before, but I completely forgot about it. And when I saw the credits, I was looking through the credits on today's episode, or this week's episode, and or I was paying attention to it, and I was like, holy shit, like the game developers have a very big part to play in this show.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, if they had as much input on Uncharted, because Last of Us is a Naughty Dog game.
Yeah.
And so is Uncharted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he wrote some of the Uncharted stuff, but I don't think so.
Well, they would have been, but they would have been setting the groundwork for the show around the same time they were probably in the middle of making the movie, you know. So yeah, okay. But yeah, excellent episode, man.
For sure.
I think Nick Offerman deserves an award.
Yeah.
I think both of them, honestly, just because like just how they depicted a couple, like you could relate, any kind of couple can relate to them.
Oh, I was giving Marina hell. I was
like
look at these guys love each other, and you won't give me the same kind of respect. It's post-apocalyptic world, and they found love, and we're sitting there on the couch, and I was giving her hell, dude.
And
the only thing that was missing was a mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And the spit in the hand.
Yeah.
But
it was good.
Well, and I think what makes something like that be good and not some like because with them they're the only thing I can't relate to with Bill and Frank is their sexuality, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter. And what?
He said you'll get there.
I said you'll get there, Trav. I made him speechless. I'm sorry.
You said that. I'm kind of taken aback at the there and back again tone you took with it. Like you've done it before. Like, what the fuck are you keeping from us, Griffin?
Don't worry, man. I got my secrets.
Lonely nights in the deep woods, you know?
Yeah.
But, no, man. Like, they, man, fuck you. You keep fucking my train of thought up, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I saw the opportunity and I seized it. Oh, sorry.
Nah, I think I'm just echoing what I said when I was already gushing over the episode and shit. Yeah. No, I remember this. It's the fact that, like, they just act like normal people.
Oh, yeah. Like it's real.
Like, there's no, like, oh my God, Bill.
Yeah.
Stop it. The flamboyancy, which I get it. There's some people that are some homosexuals out there that are extremely feminine. I get it. Whatever.
I like how at the beginning of the episode when he pairs the right wine with the lamb.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes, I know exactly what song. I know a good song for you. He pulls up that Linda Ronstadt, you know? But he already knew.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that like they kept them as normal people. They just happen to be gay.
Yeah, and seeing them go through their motions, you know what I mean? Like fighting, caring about each other, and then just seeing them together for that long and seeing their full life basically play out. Like it was a great thing, man.
Well,
it was
like
a fantastic thing.
well, the moment where we do the final time jump.
Yeah.
And it cuts to
him on the porch.
Frank. That and it's
because at first you're like, damn, is he gonna die from this gunshot?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and then they twisted on you. We're like, no, man, Frank's the one that's gonna have shit health.
Mm-hmm.
And that sequence or that scene where he's painting and it's, and Offerman comes up and he's water. He's tinkering around the yard,
Yeah.
And dude, you can tell that's when dude's like, all right, I'm killing myself. He just has that look on his face where he's just like, I'm fucking done here.
Yeah, yeah.
And like everything from that to the moment where like, he wakes up and dude's like, I'm already in my wheelchair. And he's like, what the hell? He's like, dude, it took me all night, but I fucking did it, dude. You were like, man, this dude needs a win in some way, or this dude's sad as fuck.
Yeah.
And like just seeing it play out and dude's like, this is my last day. And here's what we're going to do. And you're going to do it for me. And dude, that's so fucking sad. Imagine anyone you truly give a shit about. It don't have to be on an intimate level, but just like everything from like just your friend coming up to you and being like, hey, here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to play all the games we used to play. We're going to go eat some, eat wherever the fuck we use our usual hangout. And at the end of it, man, we're going to go get some shit. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to poison me so I can fucking die.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
I don't know if I can do it.
And Offerman's reactions to that and how he portrayed that throughout that episode was really good, man. Like he was good. He was great in Devs, and this was very unexpected of him or for me in terms of seeing Offerman in a role. Because what's funny is, even though it was played off in comedic effect in Parks and Recreation, he's a man's man. And even in this, the role outside of his love scene with Frank and everything, he still was very much the man's man. He got shit done while Frank fucking sipped on wine and ate rabbit, But I think that I hate that character is already gone. I hate that it was because I would have liked to have seen Bill and Joel develop a friendship. Like they're like he's the prepper friend, But yeah, man, it was. I knew it'd probably be a good episode, but it was exceptionally good at its writing, man.
It's got me excited about the future for sure. But yeah, y'all want to peep this James Gunn thing?
Absolutely.
See what he's talking about over here?
Yeah, something I want to mention before we get into all the Marvel or the DC stuff. Same. They're bringing back King of the Hill.
Really?
Yeah. Hulu.
Man, Mike Judge is
original cast set to return.
Wow. Okay.
Man, the only thing, and I feel like they'll do it they'll either just write it off or whatever, but I'm wondering how they're going to write off. Yeah. I'm sure they might do something nice and poignant for her, like in memory of or something.
Yeah.
Or they might just not acknowledge it and just be like, well, she's been gone, or he'll be like, it's been quiet around here since she's been gone.
And I'm not sure if it's like a movie or like a season. I don't know.
Dude, any time with Hank and Bobby Hill is a good time. That shit is hilarious.
Well, he killed it on that Beavis and Butthead.
My shit's loaded.
All right, y'all ready to watch this chapter 1?
Yes.
We got 10 chapters. Nah, just the one.
I was fixing to say, goddamn. All of them are like 10 minutes long. I'm like, fuck, dude.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. We know who you are.
You guys still there? I think I was having some technical difficulties. I was saying if y'all are still there, I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm ready now.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle,
from the horse's mouth,
film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So, Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project up is Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it, and Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective, with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular
No way.
heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser
That's
from
crazy.
the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way, so she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story.
Fucking A.
Of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
Fucking right, dude. We see the roadmap now.
Yeah. It's very interesting because you could tell
they James Gunn as fuck.
Well, James Gunn as fuck, but they edited him so heavily.
Oh yeah.
Like very heavily. They're like, we can't fucking put that on the internet, dude. He's like, let me just say what I want to say, and then you guys go in after the fact. But so the interesting keynotes that I pulled from this is Ezra Miller or his version of the Flash, and Flashpoint's going to reset everything. Mm-hmm. So that's for sure going to happen. We know that
confirmed.
Yeah, that is confirmed 110% on that. And with that, we do get the Batman 2 is the Matt Reeves Batman is its own separate entity, and it's going to remain its own separate entity, along with Joker. What Todd Phillips is doing with Joker, and then anything else Elseworld, which I'm glad.
Didn't you and I call this, Griffin, years ago that they should do that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what DC movie we were talking about at the time, but I do remember we had that exchange where we both came to the idea where it was like, man, if they do the one-off stuff, they should call it Elseworlds.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of reading between the lines here, that still has the ability for, and I know we've brought this up so many times, but there's still an ability for Snyder to finish his stories.
What leaves that on the table?
Yes, if they're going this direction to where it's like, okay, Flash is going to reset everything. Everything that happens post Flash is going to be part of the DCU, and it's all going to be interconnected through all the different, film, television, animated, and video games. Then that leads me to believe that Flashpoint could happen at literally any time. So if Snyder wants to come back at some point, or they work a deal out to where he does come back, he can absolutely finish what he's doing with his, with his characters, with his vision of the DC universe and everything like that. I think it's very interesting that they're doing Batman and Robin as the introduction to Batman, but I think that makes sense because it's going to pull the focus off of rehashing Batman's origin story over and over and over again, and it's going to put that responsibility on Damian, which is a very fascinating character in my opinion as well, because Like I really like Damian as Robin, and I think that like the things that Batman has to deal with dealing with him, because like, you know, it's Talia al Ghul's and Batman's son. So like,
Yeah. Well, what that all implied to me was that for once we're finally going to get a Batman film now after years of what we've been getting. If Damian is the Robin, then that means Dick Grayson is already out and about.
yes,
He's already Nightwing,
Tim
which is
Drake.
going to tie this into Titans being canon, you know.
Right. Well, I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that Titans was going to be part of this, but still could be.
Okay.
There's rumors going around that Titans may not be part of the DCU,
But
but
if we look at the timeline of Batman's continuity,
yeah,
the
then
fact
it
that
would
we're
make
picking
sense.
up with this,
Yeah,
that means we're going to get a middle-aged, mature, I've been Batman for a minute. I know what I like, the badass Batman we've been wanting to have for a long time.
right. Also tells us that Flash and Aquaman are going to stay part of their DCU vision that they have, which is interesting because Momoa has talked about leaving several times, the Aquaman stuff, but all I'm going to say is money talks.
Yeah.
I think he'll be sticking around for the right payday. I mean, at least to finish. What's very interesting to me that wasn't mentioned whatsoever was Wonder Woman. Like we're getting the Wonder Woman series on Themyscira, but what about Gal Gadot? What about Wonder Woman that we know? Are they going to redo? I'm guessing that they'll probably redo the entire Trinity. We're getting a new Batman. We're getting a new Superman. It only makes sense to get a new Wonder Woman
Well,
at that point.
I think they're going to let that be a show because personally in the Wonder Woman movies in the Zack Snyder universe, my favorite parts of Wonder Woman were the moments that took place on Themyscira.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Even down to Justice League.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they could even go so far as to continue to reference the mother boxes on Themyscira. Like
Yeah.
the show could lead to, we could have a rehashing of the lore of the DC universe through that movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good that can come from that.
Yeah.
And the Game of Thrones comparison that he threw to it has me at least relatively like I'll give it a go once
Yeah, for sure.
once we start seeing some trailers and a better judgment can be made.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I think Waller is gonna obviously be just more Peacemaker.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I'm interested with Superman Legacy. I don't believe I've read that one, so I'm gonna have to read that and not Legacy, but uh try to see more what they're gonna pull with that. It's a younger fresh on the cape Superman.
Right. So yeah, we do get the announcement that Superman Legacy is going to start the DCU, and it's currently the release date set for July 2025. So we've got 2 years before that comes out. And they're going
That's
to if he's still writing it, they're going to have to fast track that in a big way to get everything taken care of ahead of time. But I'm glad that they're using Superman as the jumping off point.
well, it's the card it's well, I mean, it's the most crucial aspect of the DC universe. The entire DC universe revolves around Superman, and it should
Yeah.
always remain that, regardless of his incarnation or iteration, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
DC's like that whole, like, yeah, everything revolves around Superman.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things too that made the Snyderverse so fucking badass, was that like literally the first thing you even hear in the fucking Snyderverse is Superman's heartbeat.
Yeah.
Kind of like, it's that same, it's that same like iconic type of thing that's established now as with at the very end of Endgame when the credits roll and all you hear is that last clanking of like a black like Tony Stark forging that first Iron Man armor.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, it's a sound that reverberates throughout all the story, and you're like, you remember how it started. It's like the bookend, you know?
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And this Supergirl is very interesting to me. So they're going to do Supergirl World of Tomorrow based on Tim King's comics from last year.
I'm gonna have to read that because I have not read a lot of modern comics in a while.
Right. So it says here that Kara was in Krypton. She was on a piece of Krypton that drifted away from the planet and lived there for the first 14 years of her life among a horrible situation where she watched everybody around her die. So she's a much harsher and more fucked up Supergirl than we've been used to this far. Um, so it says that Kara Zor-El, as she finds herself without meaning or purpose while wallowing in her existential crisis. Supergirl is found by an alien girl who asks the superhero to help her wreak havoc on the people who destroyed her planet. Thus, they head into space on a journey that will shake them to their very core. And he said it was going to be very sci-fi focused, so that has me excited for that, and I kind of want to read that book because I like Supergirl
Yeah.
as a character. So
Well, the
that's
fact that it's
pretty
not taking
interesting.
place on Earth,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be like Supergirl's going to be, it feels like DCU's version of Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? To an
Yeah.
extent. Um, so the DC Studios bosses address Ezra Miller's future as the Flash. So, Peter Safran had this to say about his possible return. Ezra is completely committed to their recovery. We're fully supportive of that journey that they're on right now. When the time is right, when they feel they are ready to have the discussion, we'll all figure out what the best way forward is. But right now, they're completely focused on their recovery. And our conversations with them over the last couple of months, it feels like they're making enormous progress. I have a feeling that if they're going to use,
they're still going by they.
Exactly. I have a
I thought
feeling
he was
that
talking about a group of people there for a minute, and I was like, "Oh yeah, now I remember."
yeah, I know. Anyway, there needs to be anyway. Here's all I'm going to say about Flash. If Flashpoint is going to be the reset switch for the DCU, then don't do anything with Flash for a while. Like, let that almost be a mystery as to like he reset everything. Where is he? What happened? What's going on? And at that point, if Ezra Miller is not acting like a psychopath, then consider bringing him back. If he is, then recast it and then bring. But like I think that
Or
that's how they should handle it.
or fucking kill him in a crisis event.
Yeah.
Like the Flashpoint, they could have it written to where the only way he can fix it is by borrowing from Crisis,
Yeah.
and he has to keep running and be destroyed by the Speed Force.
Yeah.
But
And they can,
if it killed, but have it to where it kills him, but it fixes everything. Because it's kind of what happens in the comics. You know, all the world, you know, the Anti-Monitor and the Monitor are fighting it out and all that bullshit. And the Flash he's got to keep some sort of battery charged or some sort of thing accelerated to keep the fucking stuff stable.
yeah.
And so he's doing that shit like in Justice League where he's running around the damn city building up momentum. He's having to do the same to build up energy to keep this machine running, and it inevitably destroys him.
Yeah. So I think that would be a smart move on their play. And like, you know, I don't know. It's going to take a lot of work for Ezra Miller to like, I don't know. You know, people have been canceled for less. I'll say that. Whether it's they, thems, or he, she's, they've been canceled for less. So like, I understand. And you know, James Gunn came out and actually responded to that tweet that Shazam,
Yeah,
the guy that plays
Zach.
Shazam, yeah, and his response was very interesting. Where it's like, you know, we're all you know, we're all humans. We all have different opinions and different ways that we look at stuff. And, you know, if if I don't agree with it, that's not going to change my professional. My professional.
He kept it classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we're not canceling somebody just because he thinks something I don't.
Exactly.
We're not doing that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this studio, we're not doing that. Fuck off.
I mean, the Ezra Miller situation could absolutely be a very similar situation like that, but I have a good feeling that Gunn's going to vet the fuck out of them before they start doing anything like that in the future.
Oh, there'll be Feige level meetings with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And as excited I am for the next Superman movie, the thing out of all of this that got me the most excited was a True Detective Green Lantern series.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing because they'll be able to explore some crazy shit.
Yeah.
What's that other show too? The Gold. What is it?
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold. So whenever he was explaining that, I was like, I'm imagining that with his style that he did with Peacemaker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already in.
Yeah.
Oh man, Man Out of Time type of funny stuff, dude.
Dude, if the person that they cast to play Booster Gold doesn't pull their inspiration for that character from Bruce Campbell, they are so fucking up. Because to me, I've always equated like that
Jack of all trades.
Yes, that Ash. Yeah, Ash charisma, where he's like constantly fucking up, but he somehow figured exactly. So if this would have happened 20 or 30 years ago, he would have been perfect for it. You know what I mean? So, but True Detective Green Lantern sounds amazing. I'm glad that they're pulling 2 lanterns in there, and hopefully they'll pull a little bit of Oa and maybe some of the other core members like Kilowog, and maybe what's his fuck too. God damn it! Now I've lost. I can't think of what his name is. The yellow ring. Sinestro. Maybe they'll pull some of that stuff in there as well. So
it would be cool if one of the things they're trying to figure out is hear me out, because it's borrowing from a very small yet significant detail in DC lore, but I feel like it would be a good linchpin for them to use. But have some, at least before we get to Hal Jordan and John Stewart, have us just be introduced to what's going on, like the core in general.
Yeah.
But have it to where they were trying to find out why some certain lantern has died.
Yeah.
And as they're unveiling everything, they find out that the Lantern Corps had found out that Krypton's core was going to implode.
Yeah.
And one of the, have some sort of way of where they denied the technology for them to save the planet to, whoever figured it out.
Yeah.
And rewrite that to where he's like, no, I just took the shit because I'm going to save these motherfuckers. It's my duty as a lantern,
Yeah.
And have them find out that, like, the lanterns were going to try to save Krypton. And, have it to where Hal Jordan and somehow John Stewart learn about that.
Yeah.
Granted, it plays with the lore a little, and I know normally lore is gospel, but I think that would make a very compelling story that connects later on when, like, say, when Superman does show up on Earth, as well as the Green Lanterns, they're not taken back by the fact that, oh, there's a Kryptonian on here.
Yeah.
Or when Superman reveals that he is a Kryptonian, they kind of give each other the look, and they're like, how are you alive? Like,
right, yeah.
And that could be how Superman ultimately learns that Krypton is in fact fucking gone. Like, there are no more Kryptonians. We don't have to have that moment where, like, we can kind of condense that arc where Superman leaves Earth for a while to go investigate about Krypton. they can kind of establish that in live action in an episode or two of them being like, yeah, man, like, you know, and this would obviously be further on down the road, or the show would have to come out after Superman Legacy, but they could explain to him like, man, there's no point in going that part of space. Like, you're not gonna like what you see.
Yeah.
And just seeing the two of them like have possibly a Rust and Cole type of thing. Not Rust and Cole, but Rust and the fucking, what's his name?
Yeah.
Dude's Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah.
Like how they would play that out between two lanterns.
Yeah. I could definitely see them trying something like that, or they may go with the idea that like Hal Jordan eventually becomes Spectre, and that build up to something even more meaningful, and like, because that was kind of a big deal, even though people didn't like it. I like the direction that they went with it. So if they went that road, I would be okay with either one of those, to be honest. So,
or I mean, or hell, dude, they could go full on. That could lay the groundwork for them to eventually do full on War of the Lanterns, and that's a crazy fucking story, dude.
Yeah. And I could see them do something like that. I mean, it's a series, so they've got the backing and funding to do it. So I don't think anything's off the table at this point.
And I mean, clearly they're going to get a good chunk of budget, because I don't see them being able to. I don't see them being able to pull off the Lanterns doing space cop shit without them dropping some heavy coin.
Yeah, right.
And like they're probably gonna have to spend forever getting that fucking suit right.
Yeah, right.
Because they drug Ryan Reynolds through the mud over that CG suit.
Yeah. So Batman 2 is going to be titled The Batman Part 2. And it's been revealed that the movie will release in theaters on October the 3rd of 2025, which is going to be, a couple of months after the Superman movie comes out. And this is going to be the first thing, or one of the first things that's released under the Elseworlds banner. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. And there haven't been any revealing things about like who or what the villain's going to be and things like that. But still, though, I'm excited for that because they did great with that first one, in my opinion. So, and then Michael Keaton's Batman future teased by DC Studios. So the cancellation of Batgirl and the rumored cutting of an Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom cameo seems to have suggested that Keaton's return as Batman in the DCU may be over before it really starts. While there were reportedly plans for Keaton to get his own new legacy Batman movie following appearances in The Flash and other projects, when the old DCU began to fall apart, many of these plans fell by the wayside. Now, however, Gunn and Safran have given a glimmer of hope that Keaton could have a future as Batman on screen after all. While revealing a huge slate of upcoming DC projects, which include brand new iteration of Batman, the joint heads of DC Studios gave fans just a small hint that the return of Keaton's Batman in a larger capacity may still be on the cards, just not as an immediate priority. This is what they said.
He would be of the age to have Damian Wayne as his son.
Yeah, right.
I mean, just saying like that, he could be the Batman of the Brave. Like the Michael Keaton Batman could be the new. Like he could come back and take the throne, dude.
Yeah. So Safran said there's always possibilities. We are a multiverse still. Gunn said, but the main thing that we're focusing on right now is creating the universe that people put their feet into. And then out of that, if we want to have multiverse tales, which I actually know one of the things we're working on does have a multiverse tale, is we'll have that in there. So
I just don't want them to build up to Crisis on Two Earths. Like that would be the more easier story to tell, and it's not a bad story. It's great.
Yeah.
But if he's building up to multiverse, then I would immediately assume that that's the Thanos level event. Is that like instead of building up to a big villain per se, I feel like the way DC is going to operate as like the comics. It's going to build up to, like, I feel like they'll build up to something like they'll do Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then it's like, all right, well, the next one we're going to do is Kingdom Come, and then the next one we're going to do is, whatever, like Crisis or Infinite Crisis,
Yeah. And I think that at some point they will do that, but I have a feeling that Gunn is probably going to stick to the MCU formula where the first, crossover big, narrative event phase, whatever you want to call it, is probably going to be a little bit more low key in terms of like what's
Yeah.
going to be, because I mean, like it would be smart for DC to hold out on that, because the only studio or the only people that's going to be able to somewhat successfully pull this off and convince a huge number of moviegoers to do it is Marvel, and they're currently doing that now. So if they hold their cards to their chest, wait to see how that pans out, because dude, it could go over terrible with modern moviegoers.
Yeah.
People could hate it and not like the idea of like this multiverse thing happening. So there's a good possibility that if they're smart, they'll keep their cards to their chest on this multiverse and just put everything under Elseworld. Don't tell what world that is taking place in, and then just move past it. And when they're ready to bring it all full swing, then they have the cards there to do so.
And adding to what you're saying, though, with the whole plan in general, with all the good stuff in play and James Gunn being the head and all that good stuff, there's still the very possibility for the average moviegoer to kind of look at all this and go, been there, done that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's been an uphill battle for DC for a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it'll continue to be so.
Yeah. Well, Gunn and
that's why they're sprinkling in the TV.
Yeah. And I think Gunn and Safran they recognize that, and I think that with Gunn being as active as he's been on Twitter and doing something like this and trying to win good faith back from everybody, it is going to take time for that to happen. But I think that, like I said before, if anybody can do it, those guys can.
Well, dude,
and
after watching that Suicide Squad movie,
yeah,
and Peacemaker, I'm 100% down with whatever that guy's got going on there.
Yeah,
that was some quality shit.
Yeah,
and it was really different. It's different than Marvel.
Yeah,
it tends to lean a little more, a
little more
dicks hanging out. Like
it's a little, it's edgier.
Yeah,
it's
sure. Definitely darker. It belongs on HBO, that's for sure.
Yeah,
so it's cool to have that, and the fact that he's the guy they bring in, where it's like, all right, that's going to be huge. Like, and like all these little shows and stuff they're doing with like those safe bet characters.
Yeah,
you got to be careful with Superman.
Yeah,
Batman, but like those characters that nobody's ever seen in anything other than a comic book.
Yeah, like the Authority.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Like that's probably going to be. That's cool to branch out, because it's like y'all have so many characters, but for the last fucking 15, 20 years, it's just been focused.
Yeah.
Like
Batman, Superman was forever. Just that's it. Just
yeah.
There are no more. What do you mean?
Yeah. So, and this kind of segues into the last topic here. It's like he really wants to tackle Swamp Thing, and if he pulls his inspiration from the Swamp Thing stories that what's his face? Yeah, the Alan Moore Swamp Thing, then it's going to be really fucked up, but really good in that Alan Moore kind of way. You know what I mean? And I think that he could pull it off. And if he's very passionate, that passionate about it, then yeah, let's do it. Let's just see what happens,
Well, what would be really cool? Because there's the fact that they have Swamp Thing on the table for this. Makes me excited at the possibility of them adapting the Dark Knight's comic series into a type of movie.
Yeah.
And there's this part where Swamp Thing is rolling with Wonder Woman, and he's been burned the fuck up because they're in like this hellscape, and it's him and Wonder Woman trying to get to Batman and Superman, but it's like it's this crazy Batman multiverse that happens, that unfolds, and it's heavy metal and death metal themed and everything, and it's just really fucking cool.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things where it's being a comic for comic's sake, and it's not necessarily trying to convey some incredibly deep message. It's just it was a really cool execution of people getting a hold of characters in the DC sandbox and just having fun with it. And I think that would make a great Elseworlds thing, but I think it would also make a cool mainline tie-in too, because it would introduce the Batman Who Laughs, which is one of the more popular characters in the comics right now, or was for a long time, and he's a connection between bringing the Watchmen in to more deep out of Vertigo and making it more DC.
Yeah.
Because at some point, Batman Who Laughs kills or absorbs Dr. Manhattan. So we have a evil, psychotic version of Batman with the abilities of Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
And I don't know about y'all, but I want to see that movie.
Yeah, right. For sure.
I mean, this is just me just thinking of possibilities, but like, there's a pretty cool groundwork laid, and I'm excited for the lesser characters that I don't know about on the roster. Yeah. Like, I never read much or some any Blue Beetle, or I have some. I've read a little bit of Booster Gold, and but the Authority, I think I see them. I think they got referenced in Crisis. I can't remember. I don't know how new or old they are, but I remember some sort of team like that. But as far as like, I'm going to read an issue of the Authority, I've never done that. So I'm excited for these characters that I don't know about. I had a feeling with Gunn being in charge that he was going to tap into more obscure stuff. And it's cool that he's doing that. But still realizing that, when people buy a DC ticket, we want to see something that involves the Trinity.
But it's cool because he's kind of using that as it gives the other a rest.
Yeah,
exactly. Superman 2025, but between now and then,
what are we getting? A whole slate.
How fucking good was that Watchmen series, by the way?
Which the way he explained the Authority,
go back and see it again.
I feel like this is going to be DC's retort to The Boys.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of superheroes that think the world isn't like they're like, no, we're going to make it.
With that R rating.
Yeah.
Because if there's something that goes really well together, it's rated R and superheroes. The Boys is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it fucking works, dude. Well, all it is just adding that little bit of realism to what these characters' skill sets can do.
Yeah.
That makes them fucking deadly as shit, man.
Yeah.
Operation P-hole.
Like, Homelander shows you if Superman was a narcissist. But I'm excited, man. It's cool that they're calling the phases chapters.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about that big
and we're already getting some transparency. Like, he came out and did a video of like, all right, guys. And I'm glad that it's him speaking.
Oh, yeah.
He's the talking head here. The other guy's not.
Well, what's cool is that the reason I'd even forwarded it, and because I was like, dang, because when I saw the news, I was like, man, Griffin beat me to it, because Griff had all the individual articles. And I was like, I'm sure that they were quoting it in most of it. But I felt like the video, like those references and examples and stuff, I felt like hearing that straight from the horse's mouth was provided much more clarity, and I applaud Gunn for that transparency.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm ready for these truck and trailers, dude.
One last me pull it up on my phone real quick. While we're this last thing about James Gunn. I think I might have sent it to you guys. I don't know.
They find out he was watching deep fake porn.
You bastard!
Oh no. Twitter account Bounding into Comics posted an article that I thought was hilarious, and it said California congressman threatens to bring James Gunn into a congressional hearing if he doesn't present his DCU plan by the end of January. And oddly enough, January 31st, he did it.
When that dude commented, James Gunn commented on that post. I saw the post where the guy said that, and James Gunn had commented on it, and I was like, "That's funny." It's funny that a congressman was like, "Hey."
Well, it just shows you, dude. Everybody loves this shit, man. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you remove the critical lens from DC and comic book movies as a genre, and you just look at it for what it is, they're always a good time. Even the worst of these movies, it's still fun, man.
Yeah, Look, y'all know how I feel about Wonder Woman, right? Like, do I need to go? I don't need to go back. But if I went to someone's
Griffin,
house,
do tell. What's your beef with Wonder Woman?
There's a whole episode.
I mean, what's wrong with Patty Jenkins, bro?
If I went to someone's house and they're like, "Hey, do you want to watch a movie?" and they're like, "We've got Wonder Woman and Pitch Perfect," I'm burning Pitch Perfect and watching all of Wonder Woman every single time.
Well, I mean, no, dude, don't burn Pitch Perfect. How you gonna do Anna Kendrick like that?
Dude, fuck
no. What I would say though, don't do that. Flip it over. Use it as a coaster for your drink, man.
No, dude.
You don't want to stain. You don't want to stain that finished coffee table.
The pitches are back, dude. God, give me a fucking break. That was their tagline.
Wait, is this your new Twilight? Remember how you were like, "Fuck Twilight"?
Yeah,
man. I'd have went full dumbass and been like RoboCop mode where I would have had Red from fucking that 80s show.
Oh yeah.
Or that 70s show.
Yeah.
And had him be like pitches leave.
Yeah.
Be gone, pitches.
That's the one thing I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Like Red from that 70s and that 90s show, that's the bad guy in RoboCop.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But no, dude, Pitch Perfect is like the worst movie ever made.
I mean, the title suggests differently, Griffin.
Well, that title can go fuck itself.
Wasn't Adam Devine in one of them? Yeah. You
knew
where I was going.
Dude, I've seen them, and they're fucking terrible.
Oh.
Why would you do that? I can't think of a situation where even in the most I'm trying to fucking throw some game on, man. Like, even in that scenario.
Yeah, what you got to do is put the Hurt Locker on if you want those game on.
Who drug you into watching Pitch Perfect, Griffin?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's all I'm going to say.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I was very hard up.
I mean, to get the sec, you must watch Pitch Perfect.
He's like, the pitch is back.
Because I feel like the minute Pitch Perfect would have came on, or you would have saw the DVD case, you'd been like, "Hey, you want to go get something? Go get something to eat? Want to go to the mall?
Yeah, it was really.
Want to go stand on your porch?
Hey, dude, look, me and like 5 other dudes watched Brokeback Mountain with a girl.
I mean,
because we all liked her, so.
Respect.
Actually happened at the practice room. We're just all sitting there, a bunch of dudes, and it's like,
I can't believe that happened there. That fucking acid door in the background.
But anyway, I'm ready for these trailers.
So we pretty much watched the same thing. If you think about it, I mean. Brokeback Mountain, Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman.
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. It ain't gonna be no Skidamaring.
Is this a haunting movie?
I mean,
oh, that's the
some Stephen King shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, was this the one that was gonna get a straight to streaming, and then they were like, "Wait a minute." Oh. Why does it have subtitles by default?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to turn them off. The fuck?
I mean, dude, the boogeyman is fucking back, guys.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah.
Very fucking cool.
How the camera turned.
That's some James Wan shit.
Push the ball under. Yep.
Go to bed, little kid.
Woo! Rid around. Ooh. Dude, this is my sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Y'all know y'all looked at a fucking
Yeah.
Producer's straight. You seen a fucking pile of clothes in the corner that looked like a demon?
Yeah, dude.
And yelled at it. What are you doing? I like that. Stranger Things. Oh. Mr. Polka Dot.
That Polka Dot Man?
Yeah.
What was that? It kind of has a Poltergeist vibe to it.
What's funny is I was about to say, guys,
with the TV.
Poltergeist looks good.
Yeah. That shot with the TV, it's like, that's real Poltergeist. That looks kind of
right. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
As a Stephen King fan, I no longer give a shit about things or movies made about Stephen King stuff. So the whole From the Mind of Stephen King don't mean shit to me anymore. What's got me hyped about it is that Stranger Things guys, they know how to do some shit. So
yeah,
they'll at least make it look good.
Yeah. Rabbit Hole?
Is he back? Is this the 24 guy?
I think
it's got. Is it connected to?
Is Jack Bauer about to save the fucking world in 24 hours again?
I hope so, dude.
No.
He did it for like 5 seasons, right?
This is John Weir.
He's the only person that could make Chuck Norris nervous.
Rabbit Hole.
I get that.
Jack Bauer, he will find that goddamn bomb.
The Rabbit Hole sounds like a dive bar.
It it does.
The Rabbit Hole.
It's It's the dive bar that Chuck Norris and Jack Bauer are the only inhabitants of. Because it's the only thing that. Yeah.
The Rabbit Hole.
There are no last calls when Chuck Norris is drinking.
It's a short clip.
You can cut somebody with it if you need it to.
No, right, this is it's gonna be a movie about YouTube.
I think it's a show
about YouTube.
Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. But I don't know. Dude, he looks the same.
Yeah.
It just keeps showing him watching like endless videos.
Oh. Building 7, huh?
Edgerton.
Oh.
Ooh. Dance.
Okay.
Oh, he's MK Ultra, dude.
It's very conspiracy theory-esque.
Remember that movie with Mel Gibson?
Yeah, conspiracy. Yeah.
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 That's exactly what I was thinking, man.
Sorry.
Michael Shannon, Zach Braff's in this. Don Johnson.
I like this comment that I saw. Let me see if it's here.
Zach Braff? You mean we're getting the Garden State sequel?
Oh, this ain't the right one. I saw someone's comment that was like, "It's nice to see Michael Shannon just doing some like kind of casual." Because he's always in something super stressful or,
you
know, just something lighthearted, something a little light.
I will find him.
Let's peep it. The only reason I dropped it is because it has Michael Shannon. I like Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
It's Michael Shannon. I like Michael Shannon. If he's Michael,
he's our Robert.
He's Michael Shannon.
Every sounds like a Shannon.
You must be a Michael Shannon.
He's probably a Shannon.
All right, little white. 3, 2, 1, play.
Yes, and yes.
Oh. What's his name? Don Johnson's like, what, my chopped liver? You can't put me in the title? You're in the description. This trailer looks like it came out 12 years ago. Yeah, the way Shriver?
Yeah.
Shriver. So they're going to fall in love, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Low and slow, dude. Shannon. Pedro does that.
Yeah.
That low and slow. They have to turn him way up. He always sounds like he's congested. Oh, this shit is wild.
Oh, God.
Terrible job on this trailer.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It feels like it came out in 2005.
I mean, dude. Terrible job on that trailer. Terrible. Oh, digital in the mouth.
It's going to digital in the mouth.
I'm Shriver.
It looks like he's on digital in the mouth.
Is there a car?
I don't know.
He always sounds confused.
Yeah, Bonnie has a car.
I wrote a book. Yeah, that's what you're here for. Oh. That's Bunny. Bunny, you know Shriver.
It looks like a Shriver.
The power.
Wait, do y'all see this?
Blow? Okay.
No.
I'm really hoping Huey Lewis in the news plays.
No, they don't do that no more.
Why are we watching it?
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. You'll see.
So they don't have to.
It's got the chick from Hereditary in it. The mom.
What?
Just wait. All of the women in the world they're getting a power. They can shoot lightning and one season.
If it makes it that far.
Well, they'll have to play it. They already shot it.
Because they want my power.
Yeah. They shot Batgirl too.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to play a station.
Well, if you want to shot the season's going to have to be on.
She said she has the power. She will like she's got
my
power.
power.
It is.
TV series.
It's quite
It's
shocking
based on a
power.
novel.
Don't you think it is?
Interesting.
Murder Mystery number 2.
Did y'all watch the first one?
No.
Nah.
I saw it was a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Whenever Sandler, I always watch all the Sandler flicks, even Hubie Halloween or whatever it was called. First and final viewing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just him and J-Ann do another.
J-Ann?
I let her know.
Yeah, just as long as she knows, it's okay. Yeah.
J-Ann.
J-Ann, dude. Oh, I'm ready.
Of course, this one's going to be, because they did one. The second one's got to be bigger and better. You already see the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
We're going international.
Yeah. Of course, we got to, dude. Then intergalactic.
That's the third one.
Planetary. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Damn. Cheeky. He's a poncho. Damn. Do people have friends like this?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know anybody that rich.
Oh God.
That's the guy from Wakanda.
Yeah.
Told y'all you only.
So wait, is this Glass Onion the Adam Sandler edition?
I think so.
That's what they did in the first one. He's like, oh, look who it is. Take me home. SEAL Team Dicks, you know? Interesting. The first one was all right. I mean, it's a little,
Yeah.
It's a silly goose. Where'd he come from? Oh. That graphic, though.
Yeah. They hired the same guy to do that graphic that did that Saban trailer.
I was going to say, it looks like maybe Netflix has laid off the graphics department.
Yeah, right.
We're using GIMP now.
The Strays. More shit flick stuff.
Shit flicks?
God.
Come on, man.
It's a shit flick.
Where do you get these guys?
This
they got
comment,
good movies over there.
Where do you get this app?
This comment says the effect Jordan Peele's Get Out has had in the film industry is insane. So my expectations are unbelievably high now.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm downvoting him. Hang on.
Yeah, right, give the thumbs down.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. It has a weird vibe to it.
So?
Yeah, there's a table in the middle. The table's in the middle. It's in the middle. The table is. It is creepy. I see what he means.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Got something to do with them wigs.
Yeah, why is she so itchy?
Scabies.
That woman said, it's almost like you're one of us.
It's hair from people who've died.
Oh. 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 I mean, ooh, hear the scratching?
Yeah.
Oh. Why are you acting like this? That's what he said. Why are you acting like this?
Why are you wearing a wig?
It's almost like you're one of us. Weird.
We
That
have
does
a
look weird.
ghost.
Oh, look at the thumbnail. Y'all know who that is, right?
I mean,
Santa Claus.
yeah, it looks like Hopper, right?
It is him.
Okay. Is this a series or a movie?
I think it's a movie.
Oh,
He ain't got time for no.
Yeah, you're right. It's got Anthony Mackie in it too. All right, I'm ready. Them two together? Yeah.
I'm hoping I want funny ghost
Oh
in
yeah,
the house.
that's what like they're
you know
hanging out like
well,
yeah,
there's a ghost here,
Cheetos.
but he's like, try to scare you, couldn't scare you,
Well, like the reason the stuff keeps getting moved is because the ghost is tripping all over it and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why'd you put this fucking dresser here?
yeah, exactly.
Who's the dresser? Yeah, the dresser used to be over there. Another shit flick.
Like even a ghost still steps on Legos.
Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play. You need to cut your grass. Look at that moon. Oh. Don't ruin it with the song. See, this is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's money. Ooh. Oh. Wow. Who's?
Wow.
Why is he dressed like Charlie Brown? No, he's dressed like a bowler.
Yeah. Oh God.
Men in Black. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
Dude, he's wearing a bowling shirt. It's got his name on it. And he can't talk the whole time. They really didn't want to pay him. Shit.
Jesus.
Come on. That looks fun.
Look, I'm going to say something. You guys may agree, disagree, but like they missed the perfect opportunity. Like, does this not remind you of something that we would have watched when we were kids?
I like
in
Ghost Dad or...
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like a movie that should have Groundhog Day, Bill Murray in it. It's something.
Yeah.
It feels.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the Frighteners.
Yeah, kind of has that feel to it. Yeah. But yeah, man, they kind of missed the mark, in my opinion, a little bit. We're like, because I remember watching stuff like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, it's like Casper kind of feeling, you know?
Mhm.
If they would have marketed that a little bit more to kids,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it looks like they're trying to market it to teenagers who, like, let's be
Don't
honest,
give a fuck about watching some shit.
yeah, and if they do, they're going to watch like whatever Scream or Annabelle fucking
Yeah.
bullshit doll haunted ass fucking shit is popular for the week. So let's be
Well, they're working for something else.
yeah, the same reason I watch Pitch Perfect. Let's go. Let's watch the next trailer.
We got another. This is the UK trailer
Oh,
because it's about to drop over there, I guess. Yeah, it's about to drop. Number 65. If you say 65, number 65 is probably 65. Yeah. A little longer to do. Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
It looks like the singer for Nickelback.
He looks like a singer from Nickelback. He sounds like a singer from Nickelback.
And this is how we remind him.
It's Robert Kyler.
How we remind. I'm ready, man.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Are you ready, dude?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, they're full-fledged dinosaurs.
I mean, look at this. Prometheus. Heliop. Beelzebub. They kind of missed it out there. Like,
yeah.
the way he talks. Yeah, Sam Raimi. Geyser.
That was Yellowstone.
It's like, I went to Yellowstone. There's no Kevin Costner there. This is Kevin Costner. It's only a T-Rex. Dude, dinosaurs are scary.
Yeah.
I didn't say Scream.
It's like they're trying to make After Earth again.
I think we should pot it when it comes out.
For sure.
It looks good.
I mean, I'm down. I'm always a sucker for stuff like that because that movie, like this movie's concept, could very easily have been B movie.
Well, what's awesome is, it's like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like sci-fi with dinosaurs. Come on.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen this trailer? I haven't seen this.
No,
I have not.
No, I haven't watched it either. I think this dropped during one of the football games. They're dropping the Flash trailer during the Super Bowl.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Drop it.
We're gonna get some good footage.
It looks like a Flash. It sounds like that's
20 million play trailer in the Super Bowl.
If you think it's a Super Bowl, it looks like one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
Tell me, can you sound like a frightful Flash? All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh. Is that Lucy Liu?
I think it is, right?
It is.
She's only got better looking.
Oh. Damn. Is that Helen Mirren?
I think it is, right?
Didn't she show up at the end of the other one?
Yeah.
You see her for a split second. It's like, who's she? Is that Helen Mirren? Because he's like, is that Helen Mirren? If it looks like Helen Mirren, sounds like Helen Mirren. It's probably Helen Mirren. Well, they packing some, like, we went from the Kitty Shazam to
Dragons
motherfucking Doctor Strange real quick, did we?
Yeah.
That motherfucker gonna open the Bifrost. Oh yeah, that's Lucy Liu. I mean,
dude, he uppercutted a dragon. I'm watching this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that first one was great.
Yeah, right. You ever got a dragon?
You ever dragon?
You ever uppercutted a dragon? Bonnie has.
Looks like a dragon. You got a dragon scale like a dragon.
Talking about Westeros. No.
We don't want a dragon
let me
scale.
finish.
You gotta preheat the dragon eggs. We don't want dragon.
What is this? What is this? Is this a movie?
It is. It's a trailer for a movie, but it's based on some kind of anime or something. I mean, when you look up,
Okay.
it's based on something.
Let's give her a spec.
Maybe a video game. It's weird. You'll see. It's strange.
It looks psychedelic.
It looks psychedelic. I can try to do a duck voice, but
Very expensive.
little mighty duck goalie. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh, he ain't ready. It's Ready Player One without the budget. And it's got that fast wave dock energy, you know?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Just because. It's a real movie. So this is what our future looks like.
Wow.
It's a prophet. That's the sound I tried to make. It's got him in it. Prophecy is the prophet's key.
You'll drink to anything. Oh. You're an alcoholic.
We have to do that on the pod. We have to.
I'll put it in. Check it out.
It looks amazing.
I mean, it's something.
Not as amazing as what we're about to watch, probably.
I mean, this one ain't that good.
You are full of shit. Every one of these trailers is like
movie gold.
Bollywood delivers on the trailer.
Dude, I found a video on Twitter the other day, and it was James Cameron. He's at one of these like award shows, and they're backstage, and he meets the director of RRR,
Yeah.
and he for fucking 3 minutes is just gushing over the movie and talking about it, and the guy's like, "Oh, thank you, you know, violence, violence, violence." Like he's so happy. But James Cameron is like, "And the fucking way that you went with the water, man, you bring him back to the fire. Violence, violence, violence." But even Cameron was gushing.
I mean, I get it. I'm ready for this.
Oh, dude, on that other trailer, somebody commented on it an hour ago, said, "IGM, please take this down." Violence, violence, violence. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Spy universe? Oh shit.
Already.
Yeah.
Distorted audio.
Cool.
We have a red flag. Fucking Mr. Steal Your Bitch over here, you know?
It's like no matter what quarter of the year it is, it's always summer blockbuster in India.
That's Bollywood Dalia.
Fucking beats dope though.
Yeah. I mean, this is the Christopher Nolan of Bollywood movies.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of 007.
Yeah.
Chase of the Snow. She's hot. Damn, he's just dropping fools. Beat drops.
Yeah.
Jetpacks off.
I don't even know who was the good guy there. I think it was the guy with the long hair.
Yeah, I had the subtitles turned on.
Dude, I'm just saying.
We've been missing out.
How about just us three fat white dudes just pack up our families, go to India, just so we can be there to watch Bollywood in theaters?
I mean, let's go.
I mean, it'll be a rough change.
I'll walk out like, violence, violence, violence.
I'll come out of the theater going, God damn, I love this country.
Yeah. Next week, guys, is episode 300.
Yeah. We want to do anything big for it?
Well, we're going to watch.
I mean, we're going to. I thought we were broadcasted from the moon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Undisclosed location on the moon. It's like you said, undisclosed. Yeah. It's on the moon.
It's on the dark side.
We're on the other side of the ice wall.
I mean,
coming to you from
outside the we're in the same room right now. Like we actually left this morning with Elon Musk's Starlink, quote unquote, satellite release.
Went out on the Falcon 9.
Really? I guess we should just spill the beans, guys. We were on the Falcon 9. We took a quick trip up to the moon. We're on the bunker right now. Griffin and we're all in our respective little quarters right now. Like I still got
quarantine for 2 weeks.
I still got bags over here. I got to unpack, man. It's been a day, you know.
But if the signal's good, next week we're gonna watch Black Panther.
Wakanda
Forever.
Part 2.
Now I'm expecting some kind of send off for Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, there's gotta be.
The big
at the end of this one that we just watched, when the kid's like, "Who are you?" and it looks at him and it just cut off, I was like, like.
Yeah.
The main thing I've seen about Wakanda Forever is that it's basically a $250 million wake for Chadwick Boseman.
Let's go.
I mean,
sounds better than the first one. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
No, but I mean, but I bet it is a good. I bet it is all death to Boseman aside. I bet it is a good movie.
Yeah.
Only because it's gonna keep in contrast probably with the other current Marvel properties where everything's dealing with some sort of loss.
Yep.
I bet you there's I'm gonna call it right now. I bet you there's a fucking kid in this movie. I bet you there's a kid or a fucking baby. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, what if he had a child he left behind?
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm calling
with
it.
With the girl, she finds out because they had a relationship, right?
There's gonna be a fucking baby, dude.
So if she's with child, that's a direct. I mean, she would be next in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the crown. We'll see.
I'm ready for
next week. Last of Us. Wakanda Forever. The check's on the mail.